affordable versus high-end makeup products, and today we are going to swatch them on the back of the hand and see how similar they actually are. But keep in mind, these are alternatives. They have very similar vibes, but they might not be exact. Sachi Beauty Cheek Stain in shade I'm Guilty versus the Charlotte Tilbury Matte Blush Wand in shade Pillow Talk. Sachi Beauty, Charlotte Tilbury. Blend them out a little bit. These both feel very similar on the skin and they blend out really easily. L'Oreal Plump Ambition Lip Oil in shade 641 versus the Dior Lip Maximizer in shade 38. L'Oreal, Dior. These two products smell the same and they pretty much feel the same on the lips. e.l.f. Stain and Tint Brush versus the Makeup by Mario F4 brush. This one is my most used favorite brush of all time, but this is the closest thing that I have found yet to it. Here is a closer look. L'Oreal Lumi Glotion in shade Medium versus the Urban Decay Face Bond Luminizer in shade Space Cowboy. L'Oreal, Urban Decay, the L'Oreal one all blended out, and here is the Urban Decay all blended out. Once you've got these blended out on the face, they give a very similar effect. Sephora Matte Lipstick in shade 01 Out of Your League versus Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Fair. There's the Sephora shade, and then here is the Charlotte Tilbury shade. Obviously the Sephora one is more matte, where the Charlotte Tilbury is more satin. Looks like the Sephora one is slightly cooler. NYX Wonder Stick in shade Universal Light versus the Rare Beauty Bronzer Stick in shade Happy Soul. This is the NYX. Here is the Rare Beauty, and just blend them out. Again, once these are blended out on the face, they look very similar. The Rare Beauty one is just slightly more warm toned. e.l.f. Multi-Stick in shade Dazzling Peony versus Rhode Pocket Blush in shade Sprinkle. Here's the e.l.f. Here is the Rhode. Blend them out a little bit. A closer look of the two. L'Oreal Blurfection Setting Powder in shade Pink Light versus the Givenchy Setting Powder in shade 3, but this is the discontinued, more matte version. Here is the L'Oreal. And then here is the Givenchy. In my opinion, the L'Oreal is the closest thing that I have found to this discontinued Givenchy setting powder. e.l.f. Cream Glide Lip Liner in shade Espresso Martini versus the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in shade Endless Cacao. Here is the e.l.f. Here is the Makeup Forever. Shades are very similar, but I will say that the e.l.f. one is a bit more creamy and the Makeup Forever one is a bit more of a dry formulation.